Hi, this is Tim Grant, your 5-minute QuickBooks professor, today talking about how to create a purchase order. You can get to the form by going one of two ways, either through the vendor dropdown and creating a purchase order, or right from the home page, which will take you right to the form. Obviously, the first step is to select a vendor. Notice that when I select the vendor from here, the vendor address automatically fills in this box. It also fills in the address for our company where the purchase order is being generated. But I can also have a drop ship situation where I want the vendor to send the items directly to the customer. If so, I use this field and I can select my customer. And notice over here on the right hand side, the address is now changed to go directly to the customer. I can also select if there's multiple locations for that customer. If I don't have a customer I'm sending to and I'm just sending it to myself, I might have multiple locations for our company. And if so, you're going to want to change those in the company master file so that you'll have multiple locations to choose from for where it is being sent to your company. I can also select the class if our company is using them. This will then apply to all the class line items of the items on the purchase order. Then we set our date, which can be present, past, or future. The purchase order number will fill in automatically, as will the terms based on the vendor that I select. It's good to have an expected due date, what the vendor gives you when you place the order, and then later to enter a delivered date when the items actually arrived. This way you can do a little bit of analysis as to see whether the vendor is delivering on time or not. You can have a ship via field for the shipping methods that are used, as well as where the freight costs are being charged to in a location. Then you're going to start with entering the items. When you fill in the item, it automatically fills in the manufacturer part number. So when the supplier or vendor receives the purchase order, they know on their end which item to pull. It'll also fill in the description. For the quantity, you want to select how many you want to order. You can already see how many are on hand by clicking that little button next to the quantity, and this will show you the multiple locations and the quantity on hand at each. You then select the unit of measure, if there are alternates available, depending on how you expect to receive them in, by box, each, barrel. As noted, the class will automatically fill in. And then for the rate, hopefully you've already negotiated with your supplier what that cost is going to be. If not, it will default to the default rate that is set in the item list. If, however, you want to charge, say, perhaps what you paid last time, what I would recommend is setting up an item quick report for that item. This is a custom report, but it's simply an item quick report where I filtered it for all the purchase orders and I set it to include the sales price of what we paid. So I can see last time what we paid for this item. Back to our purchase order, we can then select our customer that it's going to, and it will automatically fill in the amount. Down here in the lower left, there's a vendor message for anything you want to tell the vendor. And a memo field that's only internally used for taking a small note on this transaction. That's something you want to refer to later. Note on the right-hand side of this, you can also, on the vendor tab, refer back to any bills or checks that are related to this vendor. And you can filter back to any transactions if you wanted to see, say, any related bills or item receipts later on, and take any notes related to this transaction. You can also, at the end, once you're done, you can print it individually or in a batch, and you can also email it individually or in a batch, and you can set it to have it done later or do it immediately. And that's it. That's how you create a purchase order in QuickBooks. This has been Tim Grant, your 5-Minute QuickBooks professor, thanking you for joining us. Bye-bye.